A very good evening. I'm Siddhartha Talya. Now, the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, was in Tamil Nadu earlier today, where he addressed two rallies in Vellore as well as in Coimbatore. He was also in Chennai yesterday evening. At both the rallies today, he questioned the Congress as well as the DMK on giving away the Katchatheevu island to Sri Lanka. To this, the Congress party's Digvijaya Singh made a fairly callous and a throwaway remark, asking if anyone lives on the island of Katchatheevu. Now, this has triggered a massive controversy, with the BJP pouncing on Mr. Digvijaya Singh's statement. Listen in to what the Prime Minister had first said in Vellore, and then Digvijaya Singh's response, and then almost at the same time, the Prime Minister once again in Coimbatore speaking of Katchatheevu.
वहाँ के उस द्वीप पे कोई रहता है क्या? वहाँ के उस द्वीप पे कोई रहता है क्या? वहाँ के उस द्वीप पे कोई रहता है क्या? वहाँ के उस द्वीप पे कोई रहता है क्या?
Now, the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, demanded answers from the Congress party on what he described as the Congress giving away Katchatheevu, and he said he spoke about this during his first rally today in Vellore and then subsequently once again in Coimbatore. Let's listen to what the Prime Minister himself said.
इन लोगों ने कच्चातीवू आइलैंड श्रीलंका को दे दिया। किस कैबिनेट में ये निर्णय हुआ, किसके फायदे के लिए फैसला हुआ, इस पर कांग्रेस की बोलती बंद है। बीते वर्षों में उस आइलैंड के पास जाने पर तमिलनाडु के हजारों मछुआरे गिरफ्तार हुए हैं, उनकी बोटें गिरफ्तार कर ली गई है। गिरफ्तारी पर कांग्रेस और डीएमके झूठी हमदर्दी दिखाते हैं।
वहाँ के उस द्वीप पे कोई रहता है क्या? मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ।
वो तो ये कह रहे हैं कि जो मछुआरों को द्वीप को देकर के मछुआरों का अरेस्ट करा करके फिर छुड़ाने का कांग्रेस पार्टी सिंपैथी गेन करने का
ये बेकार बातें करती है मोदी जी, बिना सिर पैर की।
Now, a number of other BJP leaders have also lashed out at the Congress party over this remark by Mr. Digvijaya Singh on Katchatheevu. The party's Mandi Lok Sabha candidate Kangana Ranaut has said that the comment dates back to Nehru's remark, or reminds one of Nehru's remark on not a blade of grass growing in Aksai Chin, a remark that he is known to have made in Parliament. She said that this mindset explained why remote areas of India have lagged behind in development. The party's Andhra Pradesh Vice President Vishnu Vardhan Reddy highlighted that it was the same Congress ideology that had lost Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. That's his claim. And the BJP's Tamil Nadu President, Mr. K. Annamalai, also hit out at the Congress party and said that this highlights how the Congress carries absolutely no guilt for compromising India's territorial integrity. Annamalai has now sought an apology from the Congress to India's fishermen.
You have Digvijaya Singh of the Congress party making a very irresponsible, condemnable, and a completely objectionable comment that nobody lives on the Katchatheevu island. This stand of the Congress party, this statement of a senior Congress leader, is reflective of the dangerous mindset of the Congress party. It shows their callousness. They have not only ceded the Katchatheevu island in 1974, but today they are trying to make light of it, making such objectionable comments. Apologize for ceding Katchatheevu island in 1974. People of Tamil Nadu and people of India will teach a befitting lesson to the Congress party.
आज फिर से एक बार कांग्रेस ने दिखाया है कि कैसे वो देश की भूमि को परिवार की जायदाद समझती है। जब दिग्विजय सिंह जी ने कच्चथीव द्वीप को, कच्चथीव आइलैंड को देना जायज ठहराया है, ये कहते हुए कि कोई इस आइलैंड पर रहता नहीं, कोई इस टापू पर रहता नहीं। ये तो वही नेहरू वाली मानसिकता थी जब अक्साई चीन दे दिया गया और कहा गया नेहरू जी से कि आपने क्यों दे दिया, तो उन्होंने कहा क्या इस पर एक टुकड़ी घास की भी उगती है। ये वही मानसिकता हो गई जो नेहरू जी ने दिखाई कच्चाथीव आइलैंड के विषय में कि ये आइलैंड का कोई महत्व नहीं है, दिस इज एन इनकॉन्सिक्वेंशियल पीस ऑफ लैंड और इसीलिए इसको दे देना चाहिए, जबकि और भारत की भूमि दे दी गई। और आज जब दिग्विजय सिंह जी अहंकारी भाव से कहते हैं कि क्या उधर कोई रहता है क्या, ये आइलैंड हमारे तमिलनाडु के मछुआरों के लिए बहुत जरूरी था।
Well, let's take this across to our guests as well. We have Mr. Sanjay Jha, author, joining us as well, and YG Madhuvanthii from the Bharatiya Janata Party. Many thanks for your participation in this debate. Mr. Jha, coming to you first and foremost. Now, we can debate as to whether or not the Bharatiya Janata Party has been trying to resurrect an old ghost by talking about the Katchatheevu issue. But do you think Mr. Digvijaya Singh, in his response, should have been very careful in his choice of words? Because his remark did come across as callous. Just because an island is not inhabited doesn't mean that it has absolutely no strategic importance. Should he have been a bit more careful in the way he spoke?
Let me answer you precisely. Number one, the one person who should apologize to the people of India is the habitual liar, the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. When a leader of his party says that India became independent in 2014, they insult the freedom fighters, they insult all the brave people who died for this country. And this is the same party whose ideological mentors sided with the British. So for insulting everybody in this country who fought for India's freedom struggle, I request through your very popular channel that Prime Minister Narendra
Right, but yes.
Second point.
Please.
My second point. As far as the issue of the island is concerned, Katchatheevu, Mr. Modi as a Prime Minister should know the basics of what his government does. You see, the electoral bond issue tells you that this government doesn't know what it does because it has become so corrupt and criminal. It has lost comprehension of its own, shall we say, governance standards. It has none. To give you an example, the Foreign Ministry, in a response to the RTI in 2014, and Mr. Jaishankar, if he still is a foreign minister, whatever he is, he should also apologize because they said in the RTI that the island was in fact not ever ceded because it was never demarcated, it was never really officially part of India. In fact, Sri Lanka has been administrating it since the 1920s. Anybody in the know will tell you that even in the Raj Sabha, the government said that this island had nothing to do with any, kind of, shall we say, we had to seize it or we had to give it away because it was never a matter that had to be, shall we say, to be claimed as being appropriated by India.
Okay.
It has always been on the maritime border closer to Sri Lanka.
Okay.
And the third point, very important, in the Madras High Court, the MEAs have said, in the previous governments as well, that this is a settled matter. So Narendra Modi is so desperate because in the southern part of India, I think they're going to get less than 5 seats. He can try all the stunts he wants.
Okay.
But the tragedy of this, he's playing electoral politics and driving Sri Lanka closer in the arms of China.
Okay.
He's endangering India's diplomatic relations.
But what we're debating here, Mr. Jha, is whether or not Digvijay Singh's comments came across as callous. Was it a remark that could have, in fact, he would want to revisit a bit differently? Could he have said something else? Now, let me, in fact, take this across to Madhuvanthii ji for more. Ms. Madhuvanthii, now the criticism of the BJP is that even though you've latched on to this particular RTI that talks about negotiations in 1974 and 1976, the accusation that Katchatheevu was given away following collusion between the DMK and the Congress. The question that both the DMK and the Congress are asking you is, what have you really done, or the BJP really done over the last 10 years to recover this island? Has it really been brought up in bilateral interactions between the Prime Minister and his Sri Lankan counterparts?
Good evening, and good evening to my fellow panelists also. Firstly, let me make it very clear that the Katchatheevu island belonged to the Raja of Ramnad. And when the Raja of Ramnad conceded it, he very categorically conceded it only to India and not to Sri Lanka. Just to clear some facts here. Secondly, I think Mr. Digvijay Singh has to apologize to the fishermen of this country. Sir, please hold on. I was waiting patiently until you finished. I think I demand the same time.
This is for the anchor, not for you. Relax, you can
Yes,
catch
Ms.
up.
Madhuvanthii, please go ahead. Yes.
Let me finish. So the point being that Mr. Digvijaya Singh has to definitely apologize to the fishermen of this country, because we have been seeing every time they go out to fish, especially near this particular island, they have been captured, and the Ministry of External Affairs has immediately taken all the steps to release them based on the letter and requests placed by our state president, Sri K. Annamalai. As of this February, the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Mr. M.K. Stalin, made a very open public statement saying that Katchatheevu was given away to Sri Lanka without the consent of the DMK. That is when our state president, Mr. Annamalai, did the specific RTI, and all these documents were brought out, and the truth is being unraveled. The truth is coming out to the people of Tamil Nadu and to the fishermen of Tamil Nadu. Now, the point here is this attitude, this nonchalant, arrogant attitude of the Congress is what the BJP is questioning. And the BJP Tamil Nadu, as of last year, has already sent in a requisition to please expedite the bringing back of Katchatheevu Island to India. And the Ministry of External Affairs has started taking all the steps towards restoring this island to India. Now, I will ask you, if the question is going to be, what were you doing for 10 years? Then what was the Congress doing for 60 odd years without abdicating Article 370? It needed a Narendra Modi government to come and do it, right? As far as Kashmir is concerned. So I do not understand this question being asked only to the BJP, which is just a 10-year-old central government, as against a government that has been in rule for 60 odd years. Nothing has changed. Aksai Chin was given away in the same way by saying that not a blade of grass grows here. This attitude, as though it is there, in Tamil there is a saying where you say, "Pattam veetu sottu," which means it belongs to my forefathers, all this land. I can do what I want with it. There is no remorse. There is no small thought process also that there is a defense factor attached to it. These are international waters people fish on, which means you have to worry about securing your borders. Then, Pak-occupied Kashmir was given away on a platter. So why is the Congress even going to bother about international borders or defense of this country?
Right. In fact, Mr. Sanjay Jha, somebody who might actually take umbrage over the kind of comment that was made by Mr. Digvijaya Singh could possibly be the Congress's ally in Tamil Nadu, the DMK, because at least on paper, they feel that injustice was done to India and to Tamil Nadu when Katchatheevu ended up, being in control of Sri Lanka in the year 1974. The control was handed over. That's the accusation. Secondly, they've in fact said that we've always campaigned for the recovery of Katchatheevu from Sri Lanka, and no government has actually done much in taking those discussions forward vis-a-vis Katchatheevu with Sri Lanka. So if there's any one party that is supposed to be angry with what Digvijaya Singh has said, it should be the ally, the DMK in Tamil Nadu. So therefore, did he cross a certain line, sir? That's the simple question.
Short responses. The BJP spokesperson talked about Kashmir. You can see what a shameless party the BJP is. That when Sonam Wangchuk goes for a fast for 21 days, when he's talking about what is going on in terms of Chinese incursions in Ladakh, Mr. Modi obviously doesn't have the courage to say a word. They try and frighten him. They try and actually create blockades so that people don't know what's going on in Ladakh. This tells you what a spineless government BJP is. Point number two, the BJP spokesperson did not have even an iota of integrity to answer the question. And how for a few cheap votes, because they will get wiped out in Tamil Nadu, I'm telling you, they're not even getting a single seat, or an electoral gain to compromise India's diplomacy has got to be the act.
Mr. Sanjay Jha, I asked you a very simple question. Do you think Digvijaya Singh made a mistake in making that comment, sir? Should he apologize? That's a simple question I asked you. I'll come back to this again. I'll ask you that question once more. But Ms. Madhuvanthii, if you could just wait for a moment. I know you're putting your hand up. We have some more reactions coming in. Let's play out those reactions, and then once again, we'll get into the debate. So the DMK Member of Parliament, Mr. Dayanidhi Maran, has targeted Mr. K. Annamalai, the BJP president and also candidate from Coimbatore. Now, he's called him a joker. These are Mr. Dayanidhi Maran's words, and someone who changes his color like a chameleon. That's the accusation now coming from the DMK. Let's listen in.
I only support Tamil. He keeps on changing his stand. First he was against NEET, then he said NEET he supports NEET. Then what he said for the farm bills, he said not even a comma will be taken off from the farm bill. Then the entire farm bill was taken away. He says that he doesn't know Hindi. Then now he speaks fluent Hindi. He keeps on changing his colors like a chameleon. And he behaves like a joker. He just believes in something, and because he has to be in media. So I stand by my words. He is a joker. We need people like him. He's a good entertainer. Please, Mr. Annamalai, continue.
Now, in response to this comment by Mr. Dhanayathy Maran, among others in the DMK, the Tamil Nadu BJP chief and also candidate from Coimbatore, Mr. K. Annamalai, has hit back. He says that the DMK is a party that only stands for abuse and nothing else.
One of the ugliest political parties in our country is DMK. Because DMK party is founded on the language of filth. And if you look at DMK's history, their abuse of women, their intolerance for any newcomer, and the kind of abusive language they brought into political vocabulary, nobody in our state has done over the last 70 years. DMK stands for abuse at its worst. And this is coming from a person, Dhanayathy Maran. If you remove his word Maran from there, he will not even get a job as anybody in any place. He's totally useless without his family surname.
Now, that face-off, of course, was over unparliamentary language being used by one politician against another. But let's return to the central issue of Katchatheevu here. Ms. Madhuvanthii, you had a point to make. You had raised your hand wanting to speak in response to what Mr. Sanjay Jha said. Yes, Ms. Madhuvanthii.
My only point is, sir, the topic that you called us for this debate was about Mr. Digvijaya Singh's comment.
Yes.
On Katchatheevu. Am I right, sir, or did I get the topic wrong?
No, that is the topic.
That
it was
is the
his remark. Yes,
debate.
basically saying that no one lives on that island. Yes.
Exactly. So the point is about that. But I see my fellow panelists, my learned fellow panelists, constantly abusing the Honorable Prime Minister of this country. So they've come with a set agenda that this is the only thing they want to do. Call him shameless, call him spineless government, shameless government. How much more of this are they going to keep trying, sir? What was the topic today? Whether Mr. Digvijaya Singh was right in his comment or not. I do not see an answer for that, but I only see him going around in circles about Modi ji being spineless, the government being shameless, me not answering a question. I find it very funny, and he's laughing, but I find it very funny.
Very quickly, Mr. Sanjay Jha, we just have 10 seconds. Should Digvijaya Singh apologize? That's the first question I asked you, by the way.
I have a problem with your question. The Prime Minister of this country is compromising India's territorial integrity.
There you go again.
Diplomatic relations.
Were the comments out of line? That was the central question of this particular debate. Ms. Madhuvanthii as well as Mr. Jha, we are very short of time. I'm afraid I have to end it here. Many thanks for your participation. We'll slip into a break right now. We'll come back with more on the other side.